Happy Onewheel Wednesday, everybody. My name is Scot Mendenhall. So stoked to have you with us. We are just coming off the Windman races this past weekend, and it was so magical. It was so much fun, beautiful. It was the proper weather, everything you'd want. This jersey is straight from the trails there. If you're into Onewheel, you're going to love today. We're going to talk about the new custom shaping from Onewheel. Does it suck? That's the title of the video, not to be controversial but it's just, does it suck? Is it awesome? Is it all we've been waiting for? Last week, we talked about the haptic buzz, which I said wrong every time. Thank you for Austin and Mercedes for not correcting me all the time, but they gave the look like, does that guy even know what he's talking about? Not usually. But we're here today with the one and only Lily, fresh from what? What happened with you at the race this weekend? Oh, man, she's pointing at it.
I got first.
Number one, baby. First place.
Amateur, women's amateur.
Amateur, but like.
It's fine. And I'm also wearing my hoodie, which you can't even tell.
No, because
you're not going to wear that without, like, I need people to know that looks better.
That looks better. Okay, she's rolling in with first place. It was quite a weekend. She set out to say, hey, it's first place or nothing. There were 4 women in her bracket, and you excelled. I think you won by 2 seconds.
Yeah, 2 seconds. Yeah.
Narrow margin.
The woman just under me was like, I'm coming for you. And I was like, I didn't even know. She didn't even know. But we had fun. It was a good time.
It was a lot of fun.
But fun.
Butt fun, it sounded like?
It was tough, but fun.
Oh, it sounded like you said butt fun, and I did not understand that descriptive word.
Didn't say that. Nope.
Yeah, okay. I was just checking. But we seriously, if you've not raced yet, it's not for, like, I think there's a misconception inside the Onewheel community that racing is just for a select few. No, it's not. The pros, for sure, full send. They're a whole nother league. It's enjoyable to watch the Silvas and watching Jeff Adair and watching Luke Austin. And, I mean, you just can Gabby Soto. I mean, again, we could sit here and just list them all. You got Nick and Rachel Payne, who are fun to watch. You have, here I've done it. I feel like I got to list everybody so I don't offend anybody. But
just all of them.
All of them. The pros, if they call it. Kyle and Allie, so awesome to watch them race. They're a whole nother level, okay? For those that are an amateur, beginner, noob, grom, you just get to go out there and have a fun time. Like, you honestly just get to enjoy the trails, see how you stack up against people in your age bracket. And so if you even have an inkling, I think I'd like, come. We call it racing, but really it's just a check-in to see how you're doing, how you stand up, you hang out with the community. I think the best thing is about it, right, Lil, is you come off the hillside, the trails, and you roll into the community and you just talk about, I fell at this one section. Yeah. Those rollers killed me. I over-torqued the motor here, and it's just fun to break down the race and relive it through everybody else's eyes.
Yeah. I liked at Windman they had a beginner category. So I think that like eliminated intimidating factors for people and just like, I'm a beginner. I've never raced before. I'm going to hop in. And they raced the same, like there were 6 stages. They raced 4 of the 6. It was perfect for beginners. And I think that more races should do that because I think it would welcome more people in.
Breaks the entry to the barrier entry, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay, but really they're still doing the same thing as everybody else, just testing their abilities and enjoying it. And so I'm just telling you, if you want to get rid of the haptic buzz, this is one way you do it, right? You've got to get 1,000 miles, and then you've got to go to a sanctioned race. Show up, be a competitor, or just spread your wings and see how you stack up.
So is it 1,000 miles from when haptic buzz got released? Is that
I don't, it's not 100% clear. Somebody's going to know better than me on those details, I'm sure of it. And so if you'd write it in the chat, that'd be great. But I would lean towards it's 1,000 miles from haptic buzz being installed and then moving forward, because if not,
right.
A lot of my boards already have 1,000 miles.
I bet it's from when the update got released.
Right, and so you got to get cranking on your miles and then get to a race in the new season, and that's a wee bit of ways away for most of us. Like the racing season just came to an end. It's going to be kicking off very soon in the new year. So you got a little while. Just get used to it. I got to be honest. Like, for all of those haters out there of the haptic buzz, which we're a fan of here, we like that. Onewheel still gets to be around. You get the buzz. CPS gets off our back about the whole hoopla with that. And so it's a welcome thing to keep one-wheels on the street. You get a haptic buzz, and after a while you get rid of it. Now, out there this weekend of the race, contrary to what everyone was saying about haptic buzz, oh, you're going to hear it everywhere in the trails. Oh, that's all you're going to hear is haptic.
It was funny. We were racing and, like, my buzz would go off, and Scott would be like, your buzz is going off, and I had no idea. I was like, oh, that's what it is? Because I was too focused on racing.
But you hear...
And honestly, like, any type of buzz in trails specifically, especially if they're, like, rocky trails. Sorry if you hear some background noise. There's tractors going
by the studio today, and
it's more
the doors
so
are
just
open.
Distracting me.
They probably can't hear it,
I
though.
felt like the buzz was aligned with me going over rocks. Like, to me, there was no difference. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, you're getting the buzz at the same time you got the beat before. But this time there's just an added vibration to it, but you don't even feel the vibration on the trails because you're vibrating all over the place on the trails anyway. So it makes no difference to us. Lily rarely even noticed she was buzzing, and I was like, I didn't hear other people buzzing. You didn't hear. No one was coming off the hills and complaining about it.
Nope.
No one's like, oh, I ruined the race, and my race was ruined because of haptic buzz. None of that.
I overheard, like, a little bit of talk of, like, I haven't updated my board yet. Maybe I won't. Yeah. But, like, that was really all I heard.
But that leads us to today's conversation in a little bit. Does custom shaping 3.0 suck? You have no idea until you update it. So I got to be honest with you, 6 different stages, and I tuned my board 6 different ways every time. Now, did I like them every time the way I tuned it? No. But I learned a lot about the custom shaping. I have a lot of opinions. I have a lot of thoughts on it, and we're going to share those in a little bit. We got some really cool things happening around here. We have our own homegrown trails here. We call it the Northern Gauntlet Trails. Northern Gauntlet Trails. I'll slow that down for all of you.
Slow down.
In this trail system, we called it the Northern Gauntlet Trails because we are in the northern part of the United States, and it's a little bit of a test. It's got a little bit of everything. The features are very unique to our trail system. We're dealing with a hillside that isn't just straight down one direction. It's almost got a 180-degree hillside. So as you build features, you got to compensate for a left drop, a right drop, and then a face fronting drop. So it's unique to build things. Our berms are very unique. And so we got a facelift over the last 48 hours. It doesn't even look the same. Like, Lily just came off walking through the trails because we didn't get to ride them. And what were your first thoughts when you saw new trails, new features, and just we groomed the mess out? When I say we, that's a loose term.
I know I had to ask, did you get in one of those excavators? Is that what they're called?
They didn't trust me. Hey, here's what I learned about these fine young men. Though. These fine young men that had heavy machinery out on our property. They offered my children to drive them, but never once was I offered.
Whatever. They're in here right now and they're dying laughing.
My children drove the tractors. I didn't.
I don't believe you.
You believe it or not? It's
they
true.
Sit on their lap?
Did
they sit on their lap?
Yeah, they drove it, though. Yeah, we didn't just put it.
So
Spy was in it driving.
Obviously, they don't want you sitting on their lap. Well, that'd be weird.
No, but we could have edited them out and stuff. I mean, of course, that would be weird. But
oh my God.
I didn't even get an offer. Hey, would you like to drive one of these? Not one of them.
Oh my God.
Craig, who is the newest new guy in the
newest one-wheeler.
He just learned to ride moments before this.
But
he's learning how to drive this heavy equipment. Some of this equipment's like $60,000, $100,000, $1 million to buy. I don't know. I've never priced one, but it's heavy machinery.
You can't just get one at Target. I'm kidding. kidding.
Yeah,
they don't know me.
It's made by Hot Wheels.
They think I'm being serious.
So Craig, who's the newest, is getting to drive these things. They didn't even give me a chance. They didn't even. I was just the camera guy. I was documenting the whole thing. But my kids got to drive their heavy equipment. That's what I'm whining about right now. That they got a chance, but it's got a facelift. Okay. What were your initial thoughts, Lily, of walking down there and seeing the trails?
Oh yeah, facelifts. They're super smooth. Every time someone gets a haircut, I forget what they looked like before. Can you relate to that? Anyone? Yeah, that's what I feel with the trails. Like, what did these look like before? And then at one point, and we could especially if we played last one-wheeler standing over this, which is a race series we do in our trails. I was going down one of the trails that I'm used to, and I turned right, and I thought I was on what we call the straightaway or what is it?
Wet Bandit Trail.
Wet Bandit Trail. I thought it was on that trail, and then Scott was like, "Do you see what they did here?" And then I realized I was like 2 feet to the right of it and like higher than it, and like it was a completely new trail. All of it before was just brush and like trees and stuff, and it was amazing. So I can't wait to ride.
Yeah, I've not rode it yet. I think Craig hasn't rode it yet. He walked through it. But everybody's mobbed it a wee bit. I'm kind of letting everybody get it. I'm taking a chapter from the Silva's book, and I'm letting everybody else mob for a little bit, really pack it down so I get to really send it, enjoy it. I don't have to be a part of that crew, but don't tell them that was my strategy all along. Let them break it in. We got ginormous berms now. It's what probably 3.5 years ago we set out to do. We're there. The new trail. I mean, I've always wanted to make this trail, but I knew all I have is shovels. And it's like, man, that's going to be really hard because you're going to take a hillside and have to make it flat. Because if you've ever rode in a trail system where the trails are just sitting on the vert side of a hill, it's impossible to stay on your board. It's not enjoyable. And so they came in flat, and it was so cool. I can't wait for the video to drop. We have so much footage to drop about one-wheel stuff. This one is, I might push this one right to the top. Windman should be getting done too, though. That one's a good one, but this one, I'm super stoked on it. We got some pictures here. I think what we're going to do, we're going to as we thumb through some pictures here. We have an empty seat over here. And so...
They're showing the empty seat.
Jacob, are you going to jump? Yeah, go this way, though. Go toward... Jacob, whoa, pause. Go around and come in, or you'll walk in front of the camera. Okay, here's some pictures of what was happening. He's going to jump on camera here with us and talk for a second. He's never done this before. He's a quick talker. He's a local Minnesotan. It is going to be a good time. But he's here on our property. He should jump on. Let's see some of those pictures really quick of what's been happening on our trails. This is the boys. That's the heavy machinery sitting back there. Craig is in the stocking cap or in a hoodie sitting there. We are building the feature right there. We're calling it the log jam feature, straight from the race that we just saw from Race for the Rail. They have the log jam feature, so we're making it, and I've not rode it, but it looks spectacular. I think there's Jacob bolting them together so they don't move and wiggle and stuff. That is one of the bigger features we built. I'd have to say, based on what else we did around there, that is very small compared to what we did overall on the property. There were, before we started, over a mile of trails. With the new trail cut, we probably went to maybe just about 1.25 miles of trails down there as we tweak stuff. So it's pretty sweet to have two new features, a whole new trail line that I have aspirations to make pretty cool. Here are the boys that did that. I should say men. Thank you guys for all your hard work after the last.
Go.
Right there.
Just a.
God's getting a lot of use. The kids already got a lot of miles on it already.
They have, haven't they?
I've been ripping on it as much as I can. I got, I don't know, a few laps on it. 8 on it twice already.
Oh, you already.
Oh yeah, I ate on it pretty good on the uphill. I had
Is it
some good
because
speed
it's
going.
soft?
No, it's because I'm inexperienced on that trail. I was trying to keep up with your kids, which are wicked fast. So no, I was trying to keep up with them. I can't do that quite yet.
Yeah, they climb very well.
They
in those.
do.
Yeah.
They do. They can have 0 psi and they can still
Boom,
climb better
up
than I
the hill.
can. It's just
Yes.
they're gone, but the berms are already packing in pretty good and they're going pretty tight. So that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and again, the story on how we even met was you've watched or listened to the podcast in the cab of your tractor.
Excavator. So like, guilty confession. I got a mount in my excavator, and when I listened to his podcast, listened to a lot of podcasts while I'm in the excavator, a lot. And he had a reel, quite some time back, about walking down the hillside. He goes, God, if anyone could reach out, it's like, I'd love to be able to make switchbacks on my hill and be able to do a reshape. It's like, I want to do that. It's like, I love making trails. I love making tracks. I love playing with kids and helping out with that. It's like, this is going to be awesome if we can get a big group together and do it. And I reached out to him quite a few times, and he ignored me quite a lot. And then we finally reached out to Holly. It's like, I want to do this so bad. This will be fun. We finally went to a group ride, met up, and we came up with a good game plan and a strategy. I dropped in a few surprises for him.
Oh, yeah.
I saw the Race for the Rail, and I saw that log drop. Is like, I can do that, but I think I can tweak it a little bit, make it a little bit more kid-friendly.
Yeah.
And I mocked that all up at home, and then brought all that down, brought a whole bunch of goodies down, brought some planking down. And yeah, we had fun with it. We just let us run with it.
Oh man,
so
it was so much fun to film. Like I said, it'll come out here shortly. You're just getting a little bit of that pre-roll to what we did the last 48 hours. And when he talks about that, and we'll put the picture back up, and we're calling it, where you see it's a tree guard. I don't know what we're going to call it, the log jam. I kind of like that name. But the log jam, those logs are like, you said, 300 pounds.
300 to 500 pounds of log, and then I got 12-inch anchor spikes for like pole barns, anchoring them together so that there's no way you can move them no matter how wicked
There's
hard
no
you
way,
hit them.
like,
But
when
seriously,
you talk,
they're so heavy. How would they move anyway?
yeah, there's
You'd
like,
be surprised. When you're on top of them, they actually got a pretty good wiggle. So I legged them all together so that they're really stable. We
Like,
want them to be
where
safe.
did you insert the?
the like
The
bolts.
anchors?
Yeah.
Whatever was an option. Some of them on top, some of them on the side, and then I use a great big sledgehammer and knock the tops off so that no one can fall or hook an edge or get
Dang.
hurt.
That is
So-
impressive.
I mean, without his heavy equipment, like we have dreams of different things, but it is always required. Oh man, if we had the equipment.
Yeah.
But then it's one thing to go rent this equipment, to be able to work with the equipment without dying, right? Because we're on the hillside, and you can't just go rent stuff and just think, oh, I'm going to be able to ride this thing, no problem. You're going to flip these things. And so to have them in with the ability to do it was just priceless, because to see them, he would just knock a log over, twist it around, go, oh, I want it to sit that way. 300, 400-pound log, I'm not moving.
No.
Maybe rolling, but that's a long roll.
Yeah.
too.
Right.
So
Right.
his family and Craig coming down here and working for the last 48 hours has been priceless.
So good.
It's really taken our trail system, I think, to a whole nother level easily. And so thank you very much for doing that. Let's jump back into the conversation we were having before.
Yes, sir.
You're new to racing. You raced at Women for the first
I
time.
did race at Women for the first time because you talked me into it.
Yeah.
I was texting him back and forth about trails, and he goes, you should bring kids down and run Windman. I was like, well, I used to do endurance racing. I was like, how does it compare? He's like, well, you get like a 30-second or a minute interval between, and you just go. It's like, all right, well, I guess we're doing it. So I'm not very tech savvy, so I told my wife, I said, let's race Windman. She's like, what's that? And I said, apparently it's a big one-wheel race. I was like, I'm kind of ignorant on the whole one-wheel racing thing. We ride a lot, but we don't race. And my son was all excited and he goes, we need this. And we had to mod his board all out and get it all teched out for him. And he's starting to get wicked fast, which is a lot of fun. But
Yeah,
yeah,
he
so
is.
we made the road trip down. We packed 5 of us in a Ranger pickup truck and some tents on very, very cold, bad weather.
Yeah, it was not ideal.
And
to
we
be
got
tenting.
soaking wet.
I mean, they tented
Oh,
for those 2 days.
it was
Oh my
not the
gosh.
most best tenting experience you could have,
Yeah,
for sure.
well-
Especially with little kids. We got a 4, 6, and a 9-year-old. So yeah, it was fun. It was crazy, but yeah.
And that's
made
what I
it through.
love about your family. You're a bit like ours. Like, oh, let's just go make a memory. Let's go have fun.
We're very adventurous, that's
Yeah.
for sure, and very last minute. Very, very last minute.
It was awesome to see you out there, but you even spoke to the way I was saying. You'd never raced before. You showed up, and it's not as from probably what you were picturing to what it was like. Were you much more at ease, going, "Oh, this isn't as like cutthroat." Well, like explain that experience to somebody that might be on the fence of, "Oh, I don't know if I want to race." How was it your first time?
I would definitely say you got to try it for sure. It's definitely a lot more laid back than I expected. I've done hare scrambles, I've done enduros, and usually you get 4 to 6 racers per lot per 30-second or minute interval. This was individual starts, and if you needed a little bit delayed start, you could request it, and everyone was nice about it. So there was a lady ahead of me. She asked for a minute and a half head. That was fine. She got her head start, and then I didn't catch her. That was great. Very laid back, very chill. It was a lot of fun. Went as fast as I dared, but pressure wasn't on too bad either, so I kept
Yeah.
a good average and had a lot of fun for my first race. Mick had a ton of fun. He wants to run the circuit, so we're going to try and figure that out and see how much traveling we got to
Yeah.
do to get him to run the
Wow.
circuit, so he's super amped.
That's so
And it's
it's a
great.
lot
just
of fun.
contagious, I think. The racing's part of it. The community is a big piece of it. When you come down the hill and just get to talk about the event or your trail or what you enjoyed, it's just a lot of fun. And you just got to hear firsthand from somebody that just did it. Like, people think we get paid to say these things. No, we're just trying to encourage people to get out there and ride, because you're going to have an experience that you can't get anywhere else. And it'll get you outside. You get the fresh air, the beauty of the trails. And I think at the end of the day, if you're in a trail system, you're like, ooh, that feature's too gnarly. Man, it is okay to get off your board and go around it. Or
Just
any
walk
of those, did you have to walk your board at any point?
There was one huge rock garden that I came up onto. Is like, I don't have enough ground clearance, because I think, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I was one of the only amateur riders that was riding out a decked out pint. Everyone else was on GTs or better. and most everything was modded, but it's like, that's the board I just like to play on and mess around with, so that's
Yeah.
what I brought to race. I had my XR and I had some other boards too, but that's the one I chose to race with. Like, no, I'm just going to bottom out on this, so I'm going to walk it down this.
Yeah.
I did eat it a couple times on a few of the other rock gardens. That was I was a rock garden virgin until I started hitting some of them. And I definitely did not get a very good time trial run the day before. We came down early on Friday so we could start running some trails. And it rained so hard. We were in slop and muck and just it was terrible. Like you could drift the board on the straightaway if you wanted because it was so sloppy muddy. But we still made it through. We got soaked. We had a lot of fun. So.
Yeah, it was the rain on Friday. You would have thought would have washed out the event, but the great thing about those trails, and it all being for the most part downhill, it dries out.
It dries out so fast.
Water runs
so
away,
fast.
right? And it's
amazing.
sandy, and within 30 minutes you can ride. It's not muddy. You didn't need a fender the second day. It would just turn out to be a great event. And so to Brooks and Lloyd's Board Shop and Mob's Board Shop, and whoever else, Dirt Surfers involved in that, you guys did a great job. So it was super fun. Thank you to you guys for doing all the work here in the last
You're very welcome.
48 hours. The videos to come are going to be spectacular because of your handprint out there. One of my kids did ask, or maybe it was Lily. Lily goes, are these going to make it through winter? She's concerned that we did it at the wrong time and winter's going to ruin it.
They'll pack down. They'll settle in. The winter snow will actually help it. And it'll pack down and settle in real good.
Great.
I think they'll be really nice for spring. So
there you go.
And it was a good way to
just
get Craig
don't
on a board for the first time.
Yeah.
It was a good excuse. So we got him
it
on
was
board for
great.
the first time. And
Yeah.
we had to keep you off the equipment because we're still trying to get you up to our track. We get you up to
Oh,
our track.
that's the lure. If you
then
come
we
up
can,
there.
then we can throw the key at you then and get it. I didn't want to tell you your kids were just better at it, but he was pretty good. It's like that was one of the steepest hills I've been on this season with any job I've been on. And your kid had absolutely no fear. He goes, I'll drive, I got this, and drove right down the hill. So
no
first
fear.
job this season, needed seatbelt to do a job. So
I like that. That's what I'm trying to say. When we name this Northern Garland Trails, I think that probably, for anyone that moves heavy machinery, that says that this is not your normal hillside.
this is a cliff. You can't even deem this a hill. This is a cliff. When you need your feet on the glass windshield of your machine with a blade down just to keep it from rolling
That
over and
is
your seatbelt on,
terrifying.
it's a serious cliff. And then then we cut into the shelf road, and I started cutting the shelf road. He goes, I want to trail down here. It's like, we can do that. This is going to be challenging. He goes, do you think this will take a day? I was like, no, about a half an hour, and we can knock it out. But it's going to be some serious business here. And, I had to have the machine sideways, blade down, feet up on the windshield, hold myself in. And, I mean, it was right on the ragged edge, but we did cut the trail, and we did get it through, and it came out really nice.
It did. And I was always going, hold on, pause. Because I was moving a GoPro all over the place. I was putting it on the bucket.
He's running on GoPros all over the place. I don't want to break all his stuff.
Yeah.
There's stuff being fastened all over machines that's never been done before for me.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to capture all that stuff, so that'll all happen. Thank you for hopping on here really quick.
You're
Good
very
to have
welcome.
you up here. Can't wait for everyone else to see what you guys did and just made something pretty special out there on the trails. Back to, and it all segues into this weekend into Custom Shaping 3.0, which is dropped for the Onewheel GT, which then you get an update for the XR and Pint X soon. It's all in what's been happening in the wide world of Onewheel. A lot's happening there. You probably should get emails for Onewheel and things of that nature. But they released for the GT Custom Shaping 3.0. And we brushed on it a little bit with the Silvas here. I hadn't rode it yet, and so I didn't have much to say on it. It was more hoopla about the haptic buzz, and people were up in arms about that. And so now here we are. Let's jump into, does Custom Shaping 3.0 for the GT suck? Before I answer that question, let's just say it is one of the most sophisticated and simple apps to manipulate your board. It has all the things you want, and it is absent is all the things you don't care about. There's other apps out there for your Onewheel that you can use perhaps in the vest world, unless you're Nico. Nico understands all of the 100 million options you have, but for all of us Joes over here, there's too many options. Like, what does that do? What does that do? And it's like he knows and understands all of those, whereas I don't. And so I believe Onewheel has pared down to the necessity of what you need to really get the most out of your GT. So packed into this update is the things that will turn your Onewheel into something that it just changes the ride altogether. Sometimes when you slide the slider the wrong direction, yes, it is not comfortable. for you and the way you ride, so you just got to slide it the other direction. It's all about you finding what works for you. I love how people are sharing their custom shaping and what the settings are. But the truth is, if it works for them, doesn't mean it's going to work for me at all. Because you got to figure the height, the weight, all those things play into how your board responds to your feet. It might be a good place to start in the shaping of your one wheel is grabbing somebody's, but it's not going to work how it works for them. A lot of all of this comes down to the rider. And so bear all that in mind. But I think some of the first things you got to go and tweak on your board, especially if you're going to a downhill race. I went in, I was like, I want my braking to be a little bit more aggressive. Especially with Lily and I racing downhill. I'm right behind her sometimes because I allow her to be in front of me. Not because she's faster, it's just I allow, right, Lil?
Yeah.
Are you...
Right.
Okay, I don't think you're tracking with me, but nonetheless.
No, I am.
But I don't want to run her over, right? So I was like, oh man, harder
So
braking
fast.
would be great. I don't want to smash into her if she falls. Extra braking would be great. But here's what I learned, and it didn't click on me till stage 3, was the harder the brake I had, it pushed my tail down. And so there's some awesome rollers in the trail systems out there, dirt rollers where you pop up and then you go back down. Well, you slow down just a little bit. You lean back so your board believes you're braking, which would make my tail drag. And it took, honestly, 3 stages for me to go, man, my tail is dragging. What's the deal? And it was my aggressiveness of my braking was too severe. And so I went, and I didn't only go back to 0. I went to -1. And I eliminated all tail drag. Because now I could brake, but it wouldn't drop the tail. And it changed, it remained 3 stages. I could carry speed, I could slow down, but not drag my tail. To me, to have that ability in any trail system is a game changer. Lil, did you see Austin Silva's post the other day on Instagram?
I did. He had one of them all the way turned up.
Yeah. And did you know?
Which one was that? Aggressiveness?
It might be the aggressiveness.
Yeah, I saw it.
But did you notice? I'm a guy when somebody posts something, I kind of deep dive on their the background. What else is happening on this screen? And you look down, and he has stage 1 through 6 custom shaping. So he had a different shaping for every race he did.
Yeah,
because
that's cool.
Because it needed it. Not every trail can you hit with the same shaping.
Yeah. And he gave himself time to learn what he wanted to do for each stage.
Which I'm sure a lot of the pros were doing, but that's some of the advantages of custom shaping. 3.0 is now you can come in and save your settings for whatever terrain you're doing. Have a street setting. If you're a person that enjoys to do tricks, have a trick setting. Have you've rode Northern Gauntlet Trail, so you have settings for Northern Gauntlet Trail. I just think it offers up the ability to take your one wheel GT and now morph it into this thing that is riding more to your personality and style. And so the braking game changer in that, I could see myself on the street taking the aggressiveness or my brakes being more aggressive on street as I want to stop for cars and things of that nature. But in the trails, man, I don't think I will ride with my aggression high. And maybe I'll change that if it's a little bit more of an uphill thing. But man, it was super nice.
Yeah.
To change that. The other thing I changed that was the aggression, not braking, but just the overall aggression. You can customize, and you can slide the sliders up so you can have more power and torque right at the takeoff. And then the middle, it gives you an arc of where it disperses the energy of your board or the power of your battery. It says, okay, you want, when you hit 15 miles an hour, you want more power reserve there than right at the takeoff. And so I messed with that. At the beginning, I would over torque the board, and the nose would just grind into the ground because I would lean hard in it because the aggression I had a lot of aggression into the takeoff. Well, there was one time I got in a panic situation. I believe I had passed Lily. She crashed, right? You crashed into the bridge. Remember that?
Yeah. Ate it.
What? You don't even know what caused it, do you?
No, I was trying to get up onto this bridge wooden feature, and I don't know. I don't remember exactly. We'd have to watch the video back, but I went straight to my back.
And
It
you
was
hear,
crazy.
ugh.
Yeah.
And then you go, I
haven't
knocked the
really
wind
had
out
a
of
fall
myself.
like that. Yeah.
But when someone says I knocked the wind out of myself and they sound normal,
No.
they did not knock the wind out of
I didn't
themselves.
say that right away.
It felt like it was normal voice, though. It wasn't like, the typical, I am re.
Well, it wasn't that bad.
That sound?
You
didn't
can
do
knock
that.
the wind out of yourself and it'd be like a 0.1 aggression.
Oh my gosh, said no one ever. You either knocked your wind out of your breath or knocked the wind out of yourself or didn't.
Well, then I didn't.
No,
But
no.
anyways, I fell.
But maybe you're just better than all of us in the way you knock, you can just handle it all.
No.
I mean, you probably can.
Okay.
You're a woman,
What was
so
this-
probably.
Oh, okay. What was the story you were saying?
But so she crashes, I pass her, and now I'm flying, and I end up falling. I think I looked back to make sure she was okay because she wasn't getting on her board. And I fell off, and in a hurry, I jumped back on the board and just smash the in a sense, the gas, right? Lean forward. Well, the aggression set so high that I just plowed into the ground and fell back off the board. And right after that, I was like, oh, I got to tweak the aggression because I'm not trying to get a whole shot. I'm not trying to beat someone, a Jacob to the line or a Lily to the line. So I don't need it to be aggressive at the beginning. So I went and brought that down and put the aggression to the middle of my range because I realized I wanted to be aggressive as I rolled up on rollers. I'm carrying some speed, but I want to be able to now smash down on the gas pedal in a sense, coming up on a roller to regain my momentum.
Yeah. There's so many rollers too.
And there is in that trail system so much. So it was so nice to be able to manipulate that. Now, me not having much time to mess with it, I did leverage the time in the trail systems to do said thing. Most people, if you're really going to show up and you're trying to podium, don't do that. But at every stage, I was tweaking it, and by the end, I was like, I love this setup. I love what I got with the aggression, my braking, and all of those things have been really an added bonus to the riding. It's like I got a whole new board.
Nice.
That's what's so cool with the custom shaping 3.0. Does it suck? Absolutely not. I'm pretty sure y'all knew where I was headed there. It doesn't suck. Haptic buzz coming with it. I just see that as a bonus. I think what I love, for me, the way I ride, I love haptic buzz because I know where I can get to the fastest I can go comfortably without any worry. Because I'll get the haptic buzz and know, okay, I'm at 20 miles an hour. Oh, it's solid, 22, 23 miles an hour. Great. So ease up on what I'm doing. I like it. I enjoy it. It doesn't bother me. And I know it's not here to stay because I'll get 1,000 miles and get to the event and it'll be gone. So that even doesn't add into the equation is the custom shaping 3.0 suck. No, it's awesome. The other thing that you can turn your foot pad into a single zone engagement. Yes.
Why does that have two names?
What's the other name?
Posy.
Is that in the app, or do you know Posy before that?
I don't know either. I don't know.
Posy is a term for where people took this 2-zone engagement and they posied it, meaning they made it one.
Okay, so that's like the street name.
Yes.
Got it.
We can double check on the app.
Well,
if
someone
you want.
in the chat is calling it Posy, and someone else called single zone. But I remember in the app it said single zone engagement.
Yeah, I don't think it says Posy. It's just what we understand in the app of it being posied. It's one footpad sensor to
that's
engage.
What I changed.
And then the other thing you can change, especially in trails, because man, there's so many times, and I don't ride that aggressive, that your front foot kind of jitters around and comes disconnected from the board, that it doesn't disengage. And so you can set how many seconds or milliseconds that you have for it to be engaged still when your foot comes off. So when your foot comes back on the foot pad, it doesn't deactivate, which is super nice.
Yeah, that is nice.
And welcomed. Going back to the aggression thing that I was talking about, one of the reasons you would turn the aggression all the way up, especially if you're a street rider, you can do the nose drag that Bodie made so famous and popular. Everybody tries to do it. You don't have to be so committed to it. You can just turn the aggression up, and it's so simple just to grind your nose.
Are you going to try that?
I've already done it. It's not that hard.
Oh.
Because once the aggression's up, you barely lean, and now it goes down. You just got to stay leaning forward.
Still seems intimidating.
It's intimidating because if you hit a rock or something, you will no longer be connected to your board.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
No, I agree. I mean, I did it unintentionally in the race. You saw me eat it.
Yeah, that's true.
That's where you were like, you literally yelled at me. I fall off the board, and the camera goes flying, and I fall into the grass. And I'm just over there for a second, just making sure all my body parts are connected. And Lily, she's like, "Are you all right?" And then you're like, "Answer me!"
Yeah, it was because I wanted to keep going.
But if I didn't answer you, you would have stopped.
If you were not okay, I would stop. Brooks told us to do that.
I don't know. I don't know if you. I don't know. I'm gonna try
I would have
this.
stopped. Are you kidding me? You're gonna purposely get hurt just to see if I stop.
I am. Well, I might fake it. Might cry wolf kind of thing, you know? I don't know. No one's asking this, but I need to should we fully disclose who won between you and me?
Yeah, we can tell
We
the
should,
story
or
of
should
that.
we let them watch the videos? We'll leave it to be. We'll let it.
Yeah, it's definitely, there's a storyline.
Storyline.
So you got to watch all of them. It'll be fun.
Okay. When we get the studio
Storyline
done.
we didn't make up, by the
Do you
way.
ever feel like we just keep saying, when we get the studio done, we've been saying that for a long time.
We're going to get it done, though.
We are. It's getting cold here.
Yeah.
So if we
Can't
don't
wait.
get it done.
Can't wait to not be in a garage.
I can't wait to not
I
be in
can't
a garage.
imagine what that's like because I've never done that.
I don't even know what that's going to feel like. I'm sure it's going to feel really good.
Yeah.
But I've built it up so much in my mind now, Lily, that I could feel like we're going to be let down.
Why?
Or that it's not as good as
gonna
we're
be great.
thinking it's going to be in our mind. You ever
Anything
do that?
will be better than, not this, like that sounds like complainy, but it has 4 walls. This only has 3 walls.
Yeah. This,
I had to count. Well, I just said it so confidently. I wanted to be sure. 1, 2, 3. Garage door.
big garage. Okay, yeah, fair. Genius. You're figuring it
And
out.
I'll be bringing these with me.
The trophies.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to make the desk smaller so you might
Don't
not be able
worry,
to have all
they'll
the
fit.
hardware.
After I start getting more, then we'll just like ditch the second places and all the ones will stay, you know.
How many ones do you have?
Only one.
Oh.
Yeah. It's
So
a
your
good
other
one.
trophies are for
Second place.
second, first
Yep.
place loser, baby.
That's true. It's
Yep.
better than nothing. Though.
Okay, which
What
one
you
out of
got
the 3
over
do you
there?
like? The best. You can't say, you have to choose.
Probably this one.
For all of those at
I like
home
the golds.
that are listening to it, remember Jacob just said he listens
sick.
to it while he's in his tractor. That means he can't
Yeah,
see.
you can't see anything. Oh, the first place trophy is the one I like the most. Full sentence.
Sometimes you just gotta shake your head a little. It took you a while to get that, huh?
Yeah, because I was so enamored.
Enamored. Okay, your husband rode or raced beginner this weekend.
He did. Yesterday he was like, "We got to get another GT." It's like he brings it up every other hour. When's the next race?
So
Do you think we could sell the
does that
XR?
mean? Do you think you're gonna get him a GT for Christmas?
That'd be awesome.
No.
That'd be great.
No.
That
Yes or
should-
no? I'm not. This.
Do I think I'm thinking about his birthday at the moment, which is
Are you
next
gonna get him a
week.
GT for his birthday?
No, we already.
How can
have
we
some
help you
things
do
in the
that?
works. That would be awesome. I mean, that'd be great.
Why-
He has a broken foot at the moment, so he wouldn't be able to
how much
enjoy
better?
his gift.
So do you want to get him a GT and say get better soon?
I mean, it would be a great gift.
Okay.
So
I would like to. Somebody, wait, I'm just trying to read here. MQT, nice to see you. He goes, I love Scott ripping on Lily. Ha ha ha. It definitely goes back and forth. It does. It's not one way, man. She's a little bit more nicer on camera. It reverses. On camera, I stick it to her. Off camera, I'm a victim. And sometimes it's just
I'm a
overwhelming.
victim. Go report it to someone.
Yeah, see what I mean? You just got a taste of it right there. I'll ask Lily, will you help me with this? She's like, no, I will not do that for you.
I never say no.
Sometimes I park in her spot and she goes, hey, that's my VIP parking. Get out of
It's not
it.
true, but one time someone called his driveway a parking lot, and I thought that was really funny.
It does sometimes feel that way. Sometimes it just depends. At the moment, it could look like a lumber yard because we got so many trees
Yeah,
starting
it's
to be
true.
dropped off. If we don't get our act together, it's just going to look like it's Paul Bunyan's lot or something, huh?
Well, you wouldn't mind that.
I wouldn't. No, I'm getting the beards coming in for the winter, you know?
Yeah, is that what is happening?
Yeah, what did you think was happening? I was just not
I don't know. It doesn't happen to me, so I don't know.
really.
I don't get facial hair.
Well, we've been meaning to talk about that. What? Should we bring it up?
Someone says to Vesk the XR. I also considered that.
No, you didn't. We are not.
I did.
You
I
would Vesk
considered-
it?
I rode someone's vest this weekend, and it was a butter.
Oh my gosh.
It was
Whose vest? Was it
awesome.
Nico's?
No, he's from Lakeville, if you're watching. He was giving you a lot of crap this weekend, more than I ever give.
For what?
He was the one who was like, we were just like hanging out, and then all of a sudden someone like 5 feet away was like, "What's up, guys? My name is Scott Mendenhall. Welcome to the
that guy.
podcast." And he just started talking, and I was like, "What is this guy doing?"
Yeah, so
But he let
Tom
me
was his name,
ride.
right? I'm going on. I'm confidently saying, but unconfidently saying it as well. Tom.
I don't know.
Don't know, but he just started. You know how I say Happy Onewheel Wednesday? He went on that rhetoric for a little bit, and it was pretty funny. Like, we
It
filmed
was
it all.
funny.
It'll be in the highlight video.
Yeah,
but
he's in the video.
he watches, so thanks for watching. If your name's not Tom, in my mind it is. I know who you are. So just smile and wave at me.
He was the one who offered me his Vesk to race against you, and then say, "I just found this XR," because
Yeah.
it looks just like an XR. Like,
I did
He
feel-
didn't mod it any other way other
I
than
did
the
feel like
inside.
I don't have as many fans as I thought I did. Everybody's pulling for you. They're like, "Go, Lily! We're zipping through the
That's
trails."
because you win every time. Everyone likes an underdog story, baby.
And they're just like, "Go, Lily! Kill Scott! Knock him
Everyone
off!"
likes an underdog story. We
Yeah,
have a
yeah.
really good story writing here because there's 2 races happening all the time, and I'm still winning, even though I'm losing. Like, that's just
But
like
see,
the best movie
the reason
ever.
why, like, as much as you're sticking it to me, I feel like there's no angst in that because I had no opportunity to win that trophy.
Then race in the women's division.
Well, look at my time. I would have knocked you off. You would have been second.
Yeah.
Oh,
So race
oh.
in the women's division.
What?
Race in the women's
We're
division.
gonna race in the women's division.
probably
This is
could
not
if
the
you asked.
Olympics where I get to choose what gender I get to play for.
But it is 2023, so
Somebody-
you could
I'm not
probably
picking
do
a fight
anything
there.
You want to do?
What's that?
I said you could probably do anything you want to do if you just ask.
No, that's
Just go with a little
this
fake
is-
tear in your eye.
This is ridiculous.
Well, then get faster.
I did get faster. I'm faster.
You're not fast enough though for
Not
the
in my
men's amateur
category.
division.
Not
you
in
gotta
my
get
category.
as fast as your son, who's podiuming.
I'm not. At the end of the day, I compete against you in the trails. That's what I've always said. This is Scott Mendenhall and friends.
I'm glad you're content with that.
Yeah, yeah. Are you?
Yeah.
But you're acting like I have a chance for that trophies.
No, these are mine.
Right, women's division.
Did they
Well,
say
well,
that?
What would?
Women's.
Yes.
Nope. This doesn't.
That's because. Does it even say Windman on it?
It says Windman right there.
Oh, okay, tiny.
This I raced in women's pro because you don't actually know there's no receipts.
That was not
That
pro.
says women. Yeah, but there's nothing on it that says. So I raced women's pro and I got second.
No, you didn't. You're lying.
It doesn't say.
Oh my gosh.
You'll
I'm gonna-
never know.
You'll never know. I'll never tell. Okay, so what we'll do is I think every race we go to from now on, I'm going to work with the people. Will you have a Scott Mendenhall and Friends category?
I kind of like that idea.
And then we would get presented a trophy.
That'd be fun. I like that idea.
Then all of a sudden your hoopla over there, your little smack talking would be over.
Probably.
What? There's not a doubt in my mind.
Well, you never know. If you fall, that's the best thing about racing. If you fall, then someone can get ahead of you and then bam. That's why the race isn't over till it's over.
I feel like you're just taunting me to give the breakdown of the weekend.
Well, no. You got to watch the videos to know what happened with that. But yeah, that'd be fun. We should see if we can do that. Scott Mendenhall and Friends division.
Yeah, category?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. I'm
That'd be
down
fun.
for that. Okay, last topic we're going to talk about. We're going to glance on it because we have a video that's going to come about. We got a chance. We've got the 5-inch hub from the Float Life for the GT. What's your thoughts on that, Lil?
What was your question?
The 5-inch hub from the Float Life.
Oh,
Give
yeah.
your thoughts.
So good. So good.
Like in what way?
So your board that I rode also had the steep and deeps and a different tire. And so it was like all new to me, but it just felt like I could trust the board. It felt like I was like floating on air. It just grazed over rocks and things that my one wheel, like it's just my one wheel. I have a stock GT, just super heavy. This board felt like it was like really light. I don't know how else to explain that, but yeah, it was very nice.
Yeah, it like I went after 6 stages. I went back to Lily's board, and she had no settings customized on there, so it was very different in all of the feels. And it was 9-day difference. Like, I think one of the best upgrades you could honestly do for your board is to go 5-inch hub. How much rubber you have on your rim was spectacular.
Yeah.
It was like suspension. It had so much bite. It climbed like a beast. It was awesome. I didn't feel like I lost too much top end, especially in trails. It's you're not even going to hit top end speed. It was awesome. The only negative, if you're looking for a negative from it, how much rubber you have puts you up higher than you are when you're on the stock board. Rails?
I would like to try the 5-inch hub on stock rails.
Yeah, I'm sure that
That'd be cool.
would be different because the steep and deeps already brought you down lower. Mm-hmm. So could you imagine if you felt higher on a steep and deep, how much higher you would feel on a stock rail?
Yeah.
It would be, I don't know the measurement, so I can't speak to that, but it would be much higher. Now, somebody suggested letting out more PSI of the tire. We were riding the Vega rain tire on it, so it had the tread was awesome, really bitey and really spectacular for riding, and hands down, it was so enjoyable. I don't know when they're going to hit the market. He was very kind to have our hands on something that is just in the works. Really stoked on it, to be honest with you. And so, if you're in the market of wanting to have more suspension, you want a more floaty experience, the 5-inch hub for the GT is the way to go. Your tire options get a lot larger because there's a lot of already go-kart tires made with a 5-inch rim size.
Yeah.
And so
that's cool.
It was cool. And then you smack the customization to it, and all of a sudden it was really nice. The only thing I would maybe mess with the customization with my setup with the 5-inch hub would be the roll. I didn't mess with that. I was wondering if I stiffened it up a little bit, would it compensate for just my lack of being that high, so you're just learning how to re-ride again a little bit. It was nothing wild. Like, it's totally easy to ride. It's just you notice that when you would pop up, again, rollers, and you'd come and land in a board off of a drop or something, I would wobble just a little bit because I just wasn't used to being up so high. And so I think if you got a little bit more rigid of a roll on your board left and right, it might compensate for that.
Right.
Those tractors today really are bothering you, aren't they, Lil?
Yeah, they're distracting.
Why?
Well, I don't know if people can hear that.
Well, if you can hear, they're about to harvest the bean field right across here. So about to get real loud.
Some people would probably watch and be like, there's a bean field near you.
Well,
like, because this doesn't look like bean field vibes, you know?
Yep. But again, if you're in California,
city vibes.
California probably doesn't have beans either.
Yeah, so
like people in California wouldn't know what a bean field is.
There's wine fields. Well,
yes,
they're
but
grapes.
you don't harvest wine, or you don't harvest grapes with a machine like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Well, tell me what makes wine better wine?
The longer the grapes.
No.
I don't know.
Maybe that might be right, but the one defining quality that makes great wine. You don't know? You're the wine drinker.
I know. I like wine, but I don't know what you're talking about.
This is a good teaching here. This is like life principle stuff.
Tell us.
Okay, I'm going to drop this one, and then we can maybe.
The harder you stomp, the smellier the feet.
No idea what you're saying. What? Did you just make that up?
Stomp on wine, on the grapes.
You think people today are stomping on grapes to make with their bare feet?
No, there's a masher. It's probably like a tamper.
What is wrong with you? We've crossed a threshold here.
I don't know.
We can't come back from here.
I just spend time elsewhere, like learning about different things. I got to make sure this looks good.
Okay, great. What makes wine taste better is the more the wine or the vine struggles, the better the grapes are. If the vine doesn't struggle, then it doesn't produce good grapes.
What would make a vine struggle?
Ooh, think about it. I've drove by vineyards. I've never walked through one, but how are vineyards planted? What's one quality on them?
I don't know.
Good vineyards are put on a what?
A dry land.
That's fair. It's drier, but they still need water. What's another one? Why are you messing with your trophies? You're so distracted.
I know, but I got to make sure that people see.
Oh, yeah. You got to see the hardware. Okay, answer the question.
What makes what?
What is a common denominator in most wineries where the vines are?
A dry land.
No.
I don't know.
You already said
Oh,
that.
hillside.
Hey, what?
A hillside.
It sounded like you said hailside.
A hillside.
A hillside, the steeper
No, I
the
don't-
hill,
Is that
the
true?
more the struggle. Because then the water runs off of it, right? So it is a little bit to there, but the hillside, the steeper the hill, now you need other things like good soil and things of that nature. But the more the vine struggles, the better the wine will be. If you want to be great at life, you better have a little struggle in your life. If you don't have struggle in your life, you're going to be just status quo.
Honestly, who doesn't have struggle though?
Well, people are always trying to avoid struggle.
That's true. I feel like I sit in that boat sometimes.
I like
I
struggle.
have a fear of struggle.
Like, I like around here, every time I go to do a project, I have to do 5 projects to get to the one project I wanted to do.
But you like that?
Yeah,
Like,
'cause there's a
it's
little
not
bit of
like
a
you're
struggle.
in control of that.
But it produces something in you. Character is developed.
True.
A grit is developed. But when we get rid of all that and we're just a mamby-pamby deal, we just aren't that good. The struggle produces goodness in you.
So that's why I'm so good at one wheel racing. Because I was so bad for so long and y'all called me grandma mode.
Lily,
Just
you still...
Can we just, like, I remember those days where you guys called me grandma mode.
I know,
and
but you still are
now
riding
look at
that
me.
slow around us.
Now look at me. No, I'm not.
You're comparing
so
yourself
fast.
against these other people.
No, that looks good.
When
No,
you hands down beat Joey and I, then we'll talk about Yada Grandma's mode.
Okay, Joey will be racing on a pint.
Look, we got the
it's
float
already
life here.
done.
I've just seen them. What are they saying? Just FYI.
Oh, they're coming in with the facts. You
Let me
aren't
hear-
higher on a 5-inch hub. The
What?
outside of the
Oh,
rim is replaced with rubber. The outside diameter of the tire doesn't change, so your height doesn't change. So then what's the difference?
Yeah, so tell me.
float life?
I like that. Thank you for facts checking me.
Well, that's just
I'm
how
just
you
telling you
felt.
the sensation I have when I'm on the board is that there's more wobble. That's the only way I can tell it, and that's not I'm not slamming the product. I think it's awesome, but that's the sensation I've got when I'm on the 5-inch hub. That it was different, but I love the 5-inch hub. Like, it's a definite upgrade. Everyone should have it, ride it, get one. It was just a
Dang,
learning
I
curve.
thought the float life was coming in for the wine conversation.
No, they don't. I'm sure they have thoughts on that.
Or
but
like me being grandma mode or something.
I'm glad I read that because I'm not trying to put fake news out there about that 5-inch hub.
Someone says 4.2-inch rim coming in 2069.
Maybe.
Well, I don't know if we'll be alive for that. Maybe.
What?
Will we?
I plan to be around for a
Oh,
while.
yeah, that's only 30 years from now.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know. I'm thinking about wine now.
Okay.
More sidewall equals less rim hitting chunk.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Yeah, that was probably part of what was good about your one wheel.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
so much floatness in it.
Yeah.
Here we go. Nico coming in. The guy's one of the smartest men I know. There's probably more to do with the
Tire than the
tire
hub.
than the hub. Maybe.
Well, that's what someone just said about more sidewall equals less rim hitting chunk. So it's like because it's on a 5-inch hub or smaller hub, there's more tire, which has more pros because, yeah.
Float life must be either really delayed or intermittent in their.
They're making 5-inch hubs.
They might, yeah, they're doing work out there. That's for sure. But again, I all I know is it is a massive upgrade when riding it. That's hands down. Like, if you didn't get that impression when I was saying it before, it is hands down one of the coolest upgrades you can do, and you will immediately see something different in the riding. It's so magical. It's buttery smooth. It's like I had so much more confidence in rock gardens. That's maybe even a better way to put it. Hitting those rock gardens, I just bounced around, went down them. Whereas last year I rode them on the XRs, and I tended to walk around a few of those. With this, it was just like I could go low speed and just crawl down them or up them. It was so awesome. And so when they're available, everybody, you need to get one ASAP. I mean, as fast as you can, because I'm sure they're going to sell out, and they'll release them a little bit at a time. So That said, Lil, anything else you'd like to add for today?
Yes, so funny. We were talking about this event that's happening in Colorado at the end of October, and someone in the chat asked if there were any events going on in October.
Okay, here's
in Colorado.
It's Root Beer Fest, I believe it's called, right?
It's called the Root Beer Float Grom. Root Beer.
Here, we got an
Grom
image.
Event.
Let's just put the image on
I
screen.
have the message on my phone.
Here you go. Now, this is pretty sweet. Now, it is in Colorado.
Yes, it's in Englewood, Colorado.
And here it is, Root Beer Float Grom Weekend.
So basically, they are inviting Groms and families. This is a family fun one-wheel event. It's the very first Root Beer Float Grom barbecue located in Denver, Colorado. We have group rides and other social events throughout the weekend. It should be a great time. So what's happening on Friday, October 20th is an evening welcome group ride with so that'll be from 6 to 8 p.m. And then Saturday, the main day. So if you can't make it to all of it, try to make it to Saturday. It's from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So you can go anytime. There will be a barbecue, group rides, games, other fun events. That's what's in Englewood. I'm guessing that's near Denver. We're not from there. We don't know. And then from 6 p.m., there's an annual Broadway Halloween parade. And then on Sunday, there's a farewell trail ride with prizes, games, event, or third-party donations and all that.
Wow.
So we have a QR code if you want to screenshot it and try to figure out how to scan it later.
No, it's not that hard to screenshot this, and then your phone will just pick up on it.
Great, I didn't know that.
What?
You're teaching me.
You didn't know that you could take a picture
No.
of it and then open up in your photo app and it would work?
I didn't know that.
It's genius.
Well, I'll try it right now.
You should do that. So we're leaving it up there for enough time for you to take a picture. We'll put it up there one more time because that was probably not long enough. Take a picture of it. Go to the website. See how close you are. They're doing this in multiple places over the next little bit. I don't know the range of dates when they're going to do that, but it's going to be pretty sweet. They want to pop them up all over the place. So if you're interested in doing one of these, contact them. The link is going to be through the QR code, okay? If you don't have a smart device, then you just have a weird-looking image on your screen.
That's awesome. There's a couple of people watching today from Colorado. They're going to be there. Englewood is a suburb of Denver. There you go. Now you know. The more you know. The more you know, the more you know.
I think it's
Englewood
the more you read, the more you know.
just makes me think of LA or like
Reading Rainbow.
California. Anyways.
The more you read, the more you know.
Reading
the more
Rainbow.
You know what I'm talking about?
No, I never paid attention.
Okay, everybody. Flow Life, thanks for jumping in there and breaking that down for us. Nico, thank you for your input. Nico, we need to get you on here.
Let's talk about that 2.5 PSI he was racing on.
Yeah. Well, and
Should we make a video and just do all the things Nico does, except for we won't have a VESC board, but we could put our one wheels to 2.5 PSI and race each other? That'd be so
I think we would ruin our hubs.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you calling me fat?
What? I don't even know what to do with that because the answer I'm going to give would offend someone. So I'm just going to leave it there.
Someone in the chat earlier was like, if I did that and I'm 200 pounds, I would break the board. So what's the weight though obviously we know Nico said it. Didn't he say it?
What?
How much he weighs?
Yeah.
Did he say it on Saturday?
Yeah, 102 pounds.
Super light, which is awesome. But what would be my curious thought would be what would be the weight that would... You're out of here.
You and me, there's no way we could do that.
Yeah.
We can pump it down to that, but you're riding literally on rubber. And you're going to dent your hub or do something that you don't want to be doing.
He says, let's do it sometime.
Yeah, we're going to get you on here. It's been a while. It's been a moment. He came off a Windman, and he won the overall fastest time. The dude was flying. I think Austin Silva was second behind him with overall time by seconds. I don't know how many seconds that was, but very interesting to watch. A vest board, all vested out by Nico, and an all future motion board almost neck and neck. Very interesting. I would love to have that conversation of
How do you feel about that?
Yeah. How do vest people feel about that? Is it a writing thing? Is it a software thing? What is it? As we approach the beginning of a new season, a couple months, where do we think Vest is going to be sitting in the racing league? Where do we think Future Motion will be sitting in the racing league? It's going to be a fun off season to see what's going to happen as we build towards another 2024 racing league, which will be pretty sweet to see where the sanctioned events are, see where premier events are, and then overall champion at the end of the year. It's going to be a lot of fun. Austin was particularly
practically
stock. He's a machine on that thing.
Yeah, he is.
Wonder what the practically means.
Practically. Oh, wait. You're right. Me too.
He's not. That means he's not fully stock.
I thought he was.
I'm pretty sure he's stock. If I was a betting man, I would say
I'll have to wait long enough for him to
maybe 5%
respond
of
to
it
that.
wasn't
Like what?
his shoes.
Shoes? What?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why are you confused by that? Onewheel doesn't bring out one-wheel shoes.
Oh my gosh. That's not what Nico's saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I want to wait long enough for him to respond to that.
We
What's
do? Why don't we
practically
just
mean?
have him on at some point and really unpack the idea? No? Nico walked away with cash as well, like $300, right?
Yes.
$300. Who was the overall champ women? That was
Mercedes.
$300 richer. Did you see how much time you stacked up to her?
No, I meant to look at that.
Yeah, you should have. Let's just compare apples to apples.
Now?
No. I mean, no, I wouldn't want to embarrass you.
Think Austin had an Enduro, so just not a stock tire.
Oh, no. I know he didn't have an Enduro because I gave him my one-wheel tire.
So he was racing the
New treaded
treaded.
tire from Onewheel. Yep. He took mine.
There you go.
He made a good trade. You want to know what the trade was?
Sure.
He gave me his GT for the tire.
That's a great trade.
That was a good trade. I mean, good trade for me.
I think you won.
I won, hands down. That was a good day. Austin, you're a good man. Your favor on me was so kind and generous.
He's a good man.
Okay, if we keep talking, we'll just keep babbling. Thank you, everyone, for hanging with us. Write in the comments if you're listening to this or watching later in the week. Write your comments down in the actual chat underneath your thoughts on Custom Shaping 3.0. If you're a vest rider and you have rode the custom shaping of the GT, how does it compare? I would really like to know that. I've messed with the Vest app long ago when I was first interested in it. I know it's come a long way. Rumor has it that there is an update that will be very user-friendly at some point, which would be spectacular for Vest, would make the entry level a much easier entry level. But how does that compare in the customization of your GT to a Vest board? It'd be interesting to have that conversation, and one we probably could have with Nico next week. If, Nico, you've not been on the GT yet with the Custom 3.0, hop on one in the next week or so, and let's have that conversation. It'd be cool to pick your brain on it. That said, we're going to sign off on this one. We're going to go mob the Northern Gauntlet trails, the new features, and all those things. Can't wait to see and feel those. And thank you so much for hanging with us today. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. You're going to do all the things YouTubers ask you to do. Subscribe, leave a comment, thumbs up. It always helps. All that stuff. It really does help. And a lot of times on the live stuff, people don't do those things. But even if you're listening, just pause and go subscribe to the YouTube channel. We drop Onewheel content. We've got reviews coming. We do have a full-on review of the 5-inch hub. This was just off-the-cuff kind of conversation, what we're having. Pretty amped about what we have in store for all of you. And super kind that Craig and Jacob have sat over on the right-hand side.
You guys
the
are
whole
awesome.
time, just to hang the whole time. You guys are great people.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, our pleasure, man. It was our pleasure to have you. Thank you for all the hard work in our trail system. We're very grateful
welcome.
for your family. And have a great week, everybody. Get out there and ride your Onewheel, especially in the
Bye.
Midwest, because it's about to be snowing soon. You know it to be true. It's coming. Adios, everybody.